Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, we kick off season number 10 here with American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Trunk Series. Drivers jumping out of those Xfinity rides behind these badass trucks for season number 10. Who's gonna claim the crown? That's a long way away. We got to fire things off here tonight for the first time in season number 10. 75 laps here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Who's going to get the job done? Who's going to utilize the time off to be refocused and ready to go? Here tonight, the Frost Buddies 188. Let's head trackside as qualifying already underway. A handful of drivers laying down those fast times, so let's get those thrown up over there to the left-hand side of your screen. There you can see sitting, well, you could see it, but graphics are a little funky on us right now. Nick Burlow sits top of the speed charts, snatching the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award here, the first pole award of the season. Can Burlow hang on to it? 51:48 is the quick time for Burlow here tonight. Dave Gage re-emerging on the scene. Veteran, will he be a factor throughout tonight's race? 75 laps around this 2.5 mile track. Long way to go. 4 sets of tires in the pits, and there you see it now. Doug Argobright gonna take provisional pole. Last season's champion. Never count out that 41. He's going to be around at the end. Look to see him make it through the field here tonight. Cody Schultz right here, a force to be reckoned with once again. Alex Wiggins going to come out of nowhere. 51:43. Now the quick time. A lot of action here in qualifying. Quickly unfolding. 16 drivers on the scoring charts. 3 yet to lay down a time lap. As we get ready to kick things off for the first time this season, Alex Wiggins does indeed. Looks like he may have dodged a bullet. Only John Timms and Patrick Coro yet to put in a time lapse. So he's only got 2 drivers to dodge, but just about 60 seconds remain, and it's going to be hard pressed for either of these 2 drivers to dethrone Wiggins at the top. And it looks like officially they are going to wrap this one up. So qualifying session done and over with. First one of the season, and walking away with the pole position. Going to lead us to the green flag here tonight behind the wheel of that number 11 machine. Alex Wiggins will put his Silverado on the front row. So with qualifying over with, we're going to take a quick commercial break before we head trackside for your national anthem. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We've got high-speed action coming at you here in just a handful of moments. Get your adrenaline fix each and every Wednesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the Hauck Designs Truck Series.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular their bombs
And we'll bring you right back in trackside after the flyover is finished. Drivers, a handful of them having a little bit of trouble getting through pre-race inspection here on opening night for season number 10 with the Hauck Designs Truck Series. These American Sim Motor Racing excuse us, these American Sim Motor Racing drivers have been at it season after season, and we've had the esteemed pleasure of being right here for the majority of them. A lot of familiar faces in familiar places, but will they be able to pull their weight here tonight where the draft is truly the equalizer? All you got to do is be there at the end. The truck doesn't have to look pretty. You just got to cross the line first. We're going to see which one of these drivers is going to be able to do it. As we kick things off with the Frost Buddies 188, looks like 4 drivers still trying to make their way through pre-race inspection. Engel and Tim's having a little bit of trouble on the rear end. Looks like the race officials really working over those right rears. We'll see if the 89 and the 77 can get out on the starting grid in time. Also, Dave Gage, the 404, familiar face behind the wheel of the truck once again. We'll see if Dave can reclaim some of that. I don't want to say skill, because we know the man's skilled. We've watched him season after season. An amazing driver, an amazing talent, but just struggled a little bit behind the wheel of that Xfinity ride last season. We'll see if transitioning back behind the wheel of the truck is the way to go for Gage or not. We'll see if he can make that PR Taco Palace and Margarita Bar hometown crowd happy here tonight with a great showing here from Daytona International Super Speedway. So if you're down in the area, head on over to Atlanta, head on over to Orlando. Check out PR Taco Palace and Margarita Bar. I can promise you, you will not be disappointed, as we've got all the drivers ready to go here tonight. Just a handful of moments away from the official word, and we'll see these drivers roll off the starting grid here tonight. Bragging rights early in the season already behind the man that walked away with your premier racing setup pole award. He will bring us to the green flag as the pace truck has gotten the official word. We'll begin to roll off of the pit lane, and there it is, rolling here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. There you can see front of the field walking away with the pole position here tonight. None other than the man behind the wheel of that Canadian-sponsored number 11 machine, Alex Wiggins, gonna bring us to the green flag. Just to his outside, behind the wheel of that, I'm loving it, number 41 McDonald's machine, last season's Xfinity Series champion in the 41, LA Kid, Doug Argabright. Get it done here tonight. Cody Schultz and Derek Moore back in row number 2. How about Abati and Burlow in row number 3 here tonight? Lining up inside row number 4, behind the wheel of the number 6 machine, the Florida native Dylan Schultz. Gonna try to get it done. Dave Gage wanting to celebrate in happy hour in Margaritaville. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight. How about Brian Charnelski, the 28 machine, followed by Daniel Jensen in the 4. Just to his outside, Matt West, newcomer rookie, with us in the field, the triple-digit runner, starting inside row number 6. 25 of Jake Ennis going to round out in the 12th position. That's going to bring us back to row number 7, back behind the wheel of that number 38 machine, Zach Miller in the field here tonight, followed by Jake Dopey. The Salisbury, North Carolina native, Michael Overstreet, going to start in that 15th position with Nicholas Wing just to his outside. Engel and Timms make up row number 9, while the 91 of Patrick Coro finishes out the 19 truck field here tonight. And that's going to do it for your starting lineup as the pace truck gets ready to duck off. Driver's going to roll into the restart zone and away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here in season number 10 with the American Sim Motor Racing Designs Truck Series. Side by side as could be expected, heading to turn number 1. Both lanes dead even out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Looks like that high lane going to get a little bit of an extra boost down the backstretch. And there it is, the 41 of A.S.M.R going to quickly head to the bottom, giving us our first lead change here on lap number 1 as the shock top 51 of A.S.M.R has a little bit of problems on the top side of the racetrack. That's going to force a lot of those truck drivers down to that inside lane early. Long train of trucks on the bottom. Lap number 1 in the books with A.S.M.R in the lead. And for those of you in TV land that were unable to join us just due to TV and time constraints earlier here today from Daytona International Superspeedway in happy hour in practice, some of these drivers having to go to a backup truck. They were, I don't want to say they were not playing honest, but they were definitely not walking on eggshells. They were getting after it, seeing what these machines could take, what they could handle, and I think a handful of them had found that threshold. They're very comfortable with the way their machines are handling. You can see a lot of drivers up here in this front pack. Your top 12 still within 1 second of each other. A second group already developing back behind the Top Gun number 9 machine of Jake Doff, and you can find Daniel Jensing. There's the 4 of Jensing. And if you're these drivers right here trying to play it a little safe early here at Daytona, just want to get some laps underneath their belts, make sure the machines are running correctly, no issues, no problems. You know, it's not a huge deal, it's not a big worry, but what you gotta do is not lose the time. Right, there's a certain distance that you really don't want your pack falling further than. You could end up in a little bit of trouble not being able to run down that lead pack again. So these guys in the back, they're going to have to be careful at balancing that beam and walking that fine line of keeping it safe and being too far away. We're going to head back to the front as we head back down the back stretch. Once again, outside lane starting to come to life. Derek Moore going to bring the Ford to the front of the field. Quickest Ford in the field. Moore at the top. And again, the 51 machine. Berlin just having some trouble in the entry to turn number 3. You can see it a handful of laps now. I know we're only on, we're going to cross the start finish line, put lap number 5 on the board. But we've seen them in 3 have problems at least 2 times already. Is this just a sign of an ill handling truck? As you can see now, drivers behind them looking to make some adjustments and maybe try to drop down to the bottom. Lap number 5 on the board and in the book, so we're going to drop the timing scoring back over there to the left hand side of your screen, and there you can see again drivers doing away with Burlow, not liking what they see early in front of them into 3, so they're going to drop to the bottom and send Burlow to the back of this lead pack. Meanwhile, your Season 9 Xfinity Series champion, like the commercial says, man, he's loving it out front, started in that second position, has led every single lap here tonight, feeling good at the front. The McDonald's machine to A.S.M.R, looking to bring another trophy home to LA. Second pack starting to fall a little bit further behind now, just around that 3-second threshold, so drivers will have to be super careful back there, getting just a little bit too far back for my liking. If I'm one of the crew chiefs, I'm like, guys, we got to get lined up, we got to get going, we're giving up too much time too early here. I know we still got a long night ahead of us. We got a lot of green flag laps that we still got to work our way through, but you put yourself at a 5-6 second deficit this early in the race, you could see yourself struggling just to get back even, per se. Clouds giving us a little bit of overcast shadows throughout the track. Driver's going to utilize that to keep the tires a little bit cooler here tonight. Should have a little bit more grip as we will finish things off under the lights. Sun setting in the background. What better way to kick the season off than beautiful sunny Florida with the sunset and race trucks on the track, man. It doesn't get much better than that. A big shout out to BK out there in the chat. We appreciate you stopping by. Good to see you again. Hope to get up with you at some point in time here in the near future. BK, big shout out to you and everything that you're doing over there with Chemical RP. Glad you could be here. Glad you stopped by. Thanks for the support. We'll talk in a little while, my friend. But back to the racing action at the front of this field. Newcomer Dylan Schultz going to try his hand at leading that outside lane. The K&N number 6 machine. Going to bring his fast forward. F-150 to the front of the field. Challenge the bow tie. Will he get it done? Not quite yet. Argabright going to lead across the line. Tell you what, can we go on board, guys? Do we got that on board camera? Can we get that on there, please? There we go. We appreciate it. There's that butt kicker onboard camera. Let's get rid of some of that timing and scoring. There you go. On board here with Cody Schultz sitting second truck, third truck inside lane behind your pole sitter Alex Wiggins. You can see a lot of movement in the rear of these trucks. There you can see even your leaders moving around quite a bit. It's not just the drivers here at the front. Let's take a look here with the 45 of Christian Abbasi as we head a little further in the field, running in the 10th position. The 45, very quick driver, very talented. We've seen him walk away with multiple race wins so far the last season. It's a whole new story. These trucks handle much differently than what those Xfinity rides do, so we're going to see how he can adjust his driving style, adjust the way he pushes the machine throughout the course of tonight's race. Just a little quick look from inside the truck of this 45 machine, the NOS Energy. 16 of Derek Moore with a little bit of a handful in front of him. Jump back outside of the car, bring you back to some of the action on the track. 38 moving all around, man. A lot of movement at the front of the field. Liking what he's seeing in his mirror right now, though. Man sitting in that top spot, Doug Argabright. Looking back off of Argabright. Do we got that on board, guys? No, look, there it is. That's the one we're looking for. Off of the rear deck lid, over the rear spoiler. And just look at how massive that thing is, too. That's where the majority of the rear downforce comes in these machines. So you can understand how they get so loose. Just you tap them the wrong way, get the airflow over that rear spoiler, going in a different direction at the wrong time. You can have yourself a huge moment. So even Argabright struggling to keep the machine straight. You can see him drifting around just a little bit, bobbing and weaving like he's Muhammad Ali, but we're not in the boxing ring. We're on the high banks of Daytona International Super Speedway, and you can see now majority of this lead pack has jumped down to the bottom, just as we say that, trying to try his luck. Cody Schultz. Toyota hasn't led a lap yet here tonight. Nobody's led a lap. Except for Argabright. How about that, man? Guy that started back in this, I say back, but started outside pole position. Grabbed the lead on lap number 1. Hasn't looked back since, has kept the field behind him. Schultz feeling it. We got the duo at the top, the Schultz clan. Making some headway now. Big push down the backstretch from the 6 on the back end of that 5 of Cody Schultz. And what better way? You know you gotta feel safe, right? When you got family behind you, right? There's one thing to have a teammate pushing you. It's another to have family. You know, you may only have to talk to your teammate once or twice later on that week, but you're gonna have to see your family multiple times throughout the year, and you best believe you do them dirty, you're gonna hear about it come Thanksgiving. I don't think you want to be around for that conversation or on Christmas, but we're not gonna get into all that. It's a little too early for drama. We'll see if we're getting naturalized drama throughout the season. Already trouble now. The 38, you can see the 38 bailing from that lead pack, dropping back through the field. Was that the 38 or is that the 28, guys? I believe that may be. No, there's Brian Ternowski right there behind the wheel of that Hauck Designs number 28 machine. Looking pretty. How about them pink rims, boy? Sheesh. Looking good. Zach Miller there. You can see the U.S. Army number 38 machine in that lead pack. Just all of a sudden, problems running much slower off pace, about 10 miles an hour off pace here. Gotta wonder if there's maybe a mechanical failure going on right there for that 38 machine for him to just lose so much momentum so quickly. Gotta be some engine problems. The engine maybe overheating just a little bit. We got a battle for the race lead. How about Cody Schultz looking to get to the lead, but just can't quite get there. Right there at the line. It's gonna be close, but it's not gonna happen. Argabright keeping those laps led with him for the time being. Tell you what, let's take a little look. Let's see how these drivers going about it. You don't believe me about the high stakes, high speeds, high adrenaline filled action. There you can see 185 miles an hour through a corner with a driver less than a foot off of your bumper. One mistake, one mishap, and there's going to be a lot of problems. I can promise you that. That's not just the race leaders there. You can see momentarily 195 miles an hour. Ridiculous. Crazy speeds here at Daytona International Super Speedway. And there it is, officially leading the lap across the line. The 5 of Cody Schultz. Gonna put a lap lead in his back. Oh, that's gonna be close. Checking up on the bottom. Marker Bryant gonna have to lift just a little bit. You can see the 11 of Wiggins had to back off. That's gonna stack up that inside lane. Will it be enough to get that 6 to the front here? We're gonna have a Schultz on Schultz battle. Somebody called their mom. We got Schultz on Schultz crying. I'm just kidding. Just playing. Dylan and Cody going at it now. There's that Sunoco number 25 machine. Jake Ennis arriving on scene. And you know what? We normally don't call out race winners. We normally don't put our picks to walk away in victory lane. But we're going to start putting it out there this season. We're going to take our picks here in pre-race, in practice, qualifying. We had our eye on the Sunoco 25 machine. And I'm going to have to go with Ennis. If I've got to pick one driver that's going to get to victory lane here tonight, it's going to be Jake Ennis. He had an amazing season behind the wheel in that Xfinity ride. And I'm looking for him to do just as big this season. Full season in the trucks. Look out for that 25. That's our pick to head to victory lane. We'll see if he can prove us right and make us look super intelligent or like we know more than what we do, because we all know here in a minute I'm going to make a fool of myself. That's just kind of how it goes. Bucky's 45. Sitting in second. Abati just kind of lurking right there. Looks like he had an opportunity to jump to the high side Handful of laps ago, elected to just stay down there on the bottom of lap 19 on the board. These drivers will start looking at green flag pit stops. This could be a very big key to how the rest of this race unfolds. We're not going to get into fuel mileage because I don't think the fuel mileage is really going to be a factor here tonight. A lot of guys are going to be able to save some fuel sitting in the draft. If you are leading a pack, you will end up running a little lower on fuel as you are braking the air. You're busting open the air for all the guys behind you, so you will utilize a little bit more fuel than the guys behind you. But we've seen it a handful of times. 1 lap, 2 laps. It's not that big of an issue. Typically, we do not see those fuel mileage races at your super speedway events. Does happen from time to time. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but I just don't think that's going to be an issue here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. And Adam out there in the chat. Yeah, there are teammates out there. There's still some people that are looking to be signed or that are transitioning still from here to there. So we're kind of letting silly season finish itself on out. Then we're going to start getting into those team battles throughout the course of the rest of the season. Just want to let everybody kind of settle in, get in good with their teammates, whether they be long-term teammates or if there's some fresh faces being brought on board. You know, those KRI guys are out there. You know, the Snake River Racing guys are still going to be grouped together. You got a lot of other teams in the making as well. You still got the 42XL guys. Still Racing is out there. Premier Racing. So a lot of guys on teams, but we still have a handful of drivers that haven't got grouped up with anybody yet. So again, we are going to kind of just let that unfold for itself. We're not going to make any speculations. This ain't Formula One over here. We don't do all the garage or paddock rumors. We just let the facts speak for themselves. So tonight, I mean, everybody is basically a teammate, right? If you got a pusher and he's good, it doesn't matter if he's really on your team, right? Everybody's a teammate. Everybody's a frenemy when it comes to super speedway racing. You may have ideas to try to stick together as a team, but we've seen it here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. We've seen it in real life. You got plans, but when the green flag drops, if you can't get grouped up with your teammates, you just can't do it. Right, you got to get to the bottom for whatever reason. You got to get to that line for whatever reason. You may not be able to stay with your teammate, but it's such a long race, and the draft is such a huge equalizer that sometimes you can still find your ways back together. So I think everybody's just kind of hanging out, playing it cool right here, right now. I mean, a great way to open up season number 10. We are just about a third of the way through tonight's race. Green flag action since the drop here tonight. And the Frost Buddies 188 brought to you by the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series. You know, speaking of teammates, now you got something. See, this is why sometimes I shouldn't think about things. You got me sitting here thinking now about those teammates, and if you're familiar with the Snake River Racing Group, right? The drivers that are in that stable, even if you're not, we're going to break it down for you. Daniel Jensen, Cody Schultz, Dylan Schultz, Jake Dofing, Nicholas Wing. That's the core of that group. An easy way to keep a hold of them, numbers 4, 5, 6. 9 and 99. We're gonna have to talk to them and see if we can't get it opened up to like a 7 and an 8 in there, man. Let's just keep it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep it simple. That way I don't have to actually do all that remembering. Green flag pit stops underway for the first time here in season number 10, and there you can see the 38 machine will fall one lap down to U.S. Army number 38 machine. Engine trembles here tonight, and he will join the lead pack on the pit road. Argabright going to stay out on the racetrack, but the shop top 51. Looking to lead now. Burlow gonna go to the front. Argabright gonna get shuffled back to that third position. 5 truck breakaway here at the front with 4 following along behind of Brian Ternowski right there. An iconic Budweiser machine. I like that look. I like that color. And there's your second pack of drivers going to come down to pit road, not wasting any time. They're going to keep it nice, neat, and orderly. No troubles coming to pit lane. Looks like a nice, easy stop. Everybody in the first wave of green flag pit stops. Avoiding the pit road police. Nobody popped with a penalty here, but Argabright definitely out of the gates quicker than the guys behind him. He's going to open up about a 2.5 race lead here. And I'm not so... I don't want to say it's a bad move. I don't want to say it's a bad look. You gotta watch getting too far out there. I mean, again, this is super speedway racing, so the draft will be that great equalizer. There you go, that second pack of drivers just losing some ground here. There's Argabright. He's gonna fall back through the field. Wiggins still out there out front, though, man. How about Alex Wiggins in that number 11 machine? Christian Abate sitting in second now. Dylan Schultz behind him. There you can see the 11. An amazing pit stop. Kept it out front, but unable to deal with the speed coming from behind. Abate and Schultz going to take over the race lead, and a little bit of a shake-up now after your first round of green flag pit stops. There you can see a slew of drivers tag team on the bottom. They're going to move to the high side, make their way around that number 11 of Alex Wiggins. 3 going to go to the top side, now make it 4. Zach Miller going to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Lead driver listed 1 lap down, and a big run for the 16 on the high side. Here comes Derek Moore to the point. He's going to motor around with a fair amount of ease to make that 2-3 trucks clear as they head down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 4 of Daniel Jensen gonna stay on the high side. How about that? Jeffrey Inkle in the 89 gonna stay right there on his rear deck lid. The rookie and newcomer running well here tonight, man. How about the showing for that 574 of Matt West? West with an amazing ride so far here tonight. Let's jump on board here with the 89 of Jeffrey Engel, the Turner Trucking Company, number 89 machine, second car outside the lane, pushing that Snake River Racing Silverado. Daniel Jensen looking for the race lead. More down on the bottom. He's got Jake Ennis along with him. 45 of Christian Abate. Leading a little pack back in this field. Nick Burlow, the shock top number 51 machine. There you can see the 77 of John Timms, Michael Overstreet in the pack, Dave Gage, Brian Ternowski. We're going to butcher this up. We wanted to give it a shot. We wanted to give the guy a little bit of credit where credit is due. Not even necessarily credit, but the Waukesha, Wisconsin, man. Can you, for anybody out there in the chat, if you're from around that way, is that even remotely right, or did I just butcher that all to pieces? The Waukesha? How do you even? Can you imagine trying to tell somebody that too? I'm from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Like that just, see, I can't even say it correctly one time without messing it up. Factor week in, week out last season behind the wheel of his Xfinity ride. We'll see if Tarnowski is going to be somebody you have to deal with here in season number 10, but a big shout out again to Tarnowski, the Wisconsin native. And if I'm not mistaken, we are going to be heading to some tracks over there, kind of in that northwest area. So we'll see if Tarnowski can show out for the hometown crowds. Meanwhile, front of the field, Jake Ennis going to reclaim the race lead. The Sunoco number 25 will cross the line with another lap led here tonight. Lap number 32 goes on the board. Waukesha. Is that right? Adam, we appreciate the daylights out of this. Like, I don't like butchering things. I try to sound as intelligent as possible while still being an idiot, you know? The Waukesha. That sounds so much better than Waukesha. I'm just saying. Never mind. We're, moving on. Moving on. Already in trouble here. Early in the season. We got a breakaway on the track. Your top 8 drivers have stepped away and opened up over an 11-second lead back to the second pack. And then we have a small third pack. Jake Dofing, Nicholas Wing, and Patrick Coro back in that third pack. Just about 30 seconds behind your race leader. Those guys are desperately in need of a caution. Ed, how you doing out there on track, man? You're the man, dude. Why are you not on track? You can't just be basically the paint shop for the league. One of the main sponsors, not just here in season number 10, but throughout the course of multiple seasons here with the A.S.M.R. Series. But man, what you doing at home and not on the track, man? We got to have a talk about this, man. That is some interesting knowledge. I did not know Les Paul was from Waukesha. See, I'm not gonna mess it up now that I have it. I'm sure I will here in a couple weeks when I forget, but that's besides the point. I hear you. And we're just gonna go sad face. I could use a few other words to describe work, but it fortunately it is what it is. We hope to see you on track next week and giving them hell. And it's been an amazing run, an amazing ride, Ed. We wish you were here tonight out there on track to celebrate a milestone moment. I'm going to go off on a rant here as things seem a little bit calm. Single file racing. Whoa, I say calm, and then the 89 going to have a bit of a problem. Jeffrey Engel, bottom of the racetrack, going to catch the apron a little bit on that left side. The Tucker Trucking Company machine. A little out of sorts for a moment. What this American Sim Motor Racing series has been able to do and been able to accomplish is a massive feat. It is a big feat. And for those of you that are not part of the sim racing world or part of iRacing.com, a series being able to maintain its drivers, maintain its level of talent, consistency for multiple seasons is a very hard thing to do. These guys have been going at it for, this is now the 10th season, and we couldn't be more privileged, more blessed to have been here for the majority of them. Also, Ed, again, sorry you couldn't be on track with us here tonight. We're going to look forward to seeing you back in the field next week, though, as we got the Schultz brothers battling to see who's going to bring home the trophy here tonight. Inside, outside, Cody and Dylan lead the field here at Daytona. We can do a big push on the tail end of the number 6 machine. The K&N Ford will drop to the bottom of the racetrack, take over the complete control of the race lead. Now your pole sitter looking to get back to the front and lead a handful of laps, and with a big push by the lap down machine, the 38 is going to give him the boost he needs, and he will get out front. Your pole sitter will lead another lap again. Any hot paint schemes? I haven't touched them. I don't know. Bad joke. Absolutely bad joke. Well, I know this one is out there. I've talked about him a handful of times here tonight. And let's see. Can we get a little closer, guys? Can we get a closer camera here? Absolutely love this 25. And I know you've had your hand on that one. And I absolutely love it. That's partly one of the reasons why we picked him as our favorite to win tonight's race. The paint scheme really caught our eye in practice and in happy hour, and we kind of just locked in on him. And Ennis's talent just helps kind of back up that theory. That 45 sitting right behind him, the Bucky's 45 machine looking beautiful. But how about the 4? 4 of Daniel Jensen out there on the track. Looks like a little bit of a Grim Reaper thing going on there. A little scary. I'm just kidding, not scary, but I'd be a little bit worried. I don't know, man. In Snake River with some... Yeah, I'm gonna have nightmares. I gotta go. A lot of great drivers in the field. A lot of great looking trucks. That shop top number 51. Absolutely wonderful. 41 makes me want to stop and get me a McGriddle in the morning tomorrow on my way to work. The guys at Dunkin', everybody at Dunkin' gonna be mad at me if I do that, so I don't know. Maybe I can't be loving it, but loving it here tonight. He was at the front of the field, finds himself a little bit back behind the 8-ball right now, sitting in that 10th position. Needing to make up a little bit of time here. We'll see if that 41 and 51 combination can make it back to the front. That Zero NOS Energy number 16 machine, flashy little look as well. And how about this guy right here? It's Aronowski. And that Hauck Designs number 28 sponsored Chevy Silverado with yet another one of those amazing paint schemes throughout the field. Ed, man, you can drive your tail off, you can paint your off, and we're gonna leave it at that. So what do you say we jump around the field just a little bit here as drivers are making their way through turn number 1, back down the back stretch once again, coming at you right into your living room. Once again, the 89 of Jeffrey going to jump out of line, try his hand at making it to the front of the field. Not quite going to have the momentum to get there. As drivers head into turn number 3, nice long single file trailer trucks down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Only Engel looks like he's brave enough to jump to the high side and try something. I think he's just going to get freight trained here and be heading to the back in just a moment. You want that 16 truck, huh? Well, you asked for it, you got it. Derek Moore right there in the, I don't want to say the back of the field, but sitting outside of your top 10. See, when the boss man asks you to do something, you do it. It doesn't matter. You just get her done. It looks like there's a lot of detail that has went into this thing to hit the track with the Frost Buddies 188. Speaking of Frost Buddies, one of our new sponsors coming on board here, and a great thing for all of us deplorables that are part of this A.S.M.R. Group. Frost Buddies doing a little bit of kindness when it comes to the gambling side of things. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gambler's hall where people can wager some bets, and There's a handful of prizes being handed out this season by Frost Buddies. Keep your drinks looking good and keep them cold as ice with Frost Buddy. So there you go. There's you a little bit of a look, Ed. You asked for it. You got it. We're going to take another look here. How about a look off at the tail end of the machine? Looking back at the VRS, number 77 of John Tim sitting in that 13th position. Again, these drivers sitting back in this second pack, man, they got some ground to make up. They're about 10 seconds off of pace from that lead pack, with less than half of the race remaining in front of us. There's no time to waste. They've got to stay organized. They've got to stay consistent, and they have got to find a way to make up some ground. Gonna head back to the front of the field once again. There you can see the Schultz brothers still at the front of the lead pack. Matt West, the newcomer, man. The newcomer in the field, sitting in third. How about arriving on scene into a series and a league that is full of absolute aliens? These guys are just absolutely out of this world, absolutely unreal when it comes to the talent caliber. And being able to step right into the truck, jump right on track, and be right here at the front of the field, man, that says a lot about character. It says a lot about nerves. It says a lot about confidence. And believe it or not, being confident behind the wheel of a race car, race truck, whether you're street racing, road course racing, you're drag racing, you're on two wheels with the MotoGP world, confidence is king. If you don't have the confidence to believe in your machine, to believe in your talent, then you're going to have those big time struggles. You're gonna have issues. But man, being able to keep them all quiet, keep his focus on board right here. I believe we're going to go with the track racer on board camera. Yes, it is the track racer on board camera here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. Cody Schultz sitting right here in second. Rookie Matt West behind him in third. And again, just an amazing job so far here by the man behind this wheel of the triple-digit Silverado. And I tell you what, Ed, we got to do something about this rear. I'm not sure if he doesn't have a paint scheme yet for the truck, or if maybe he's had a little bit of, maybe if trading paints has given us a little bit of a problem. You know how problematic that thing can be at times, but we got to get him. We got to get him spiffed up. Right? We're going to have to send him to the tailor shop. I think, even though the race ain't over and the finishing order isn't done, we gotta get, we got, you know, we gotta put that bow tie on it. You know what I mean? We gotta put that carnation in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? That little right there. Anyways. Caution-free racing here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. All 48 laps on the board have been run under green flag conditions, as now this lead pack starts to mix things up with the green flag pit stops just around the corner. That second pack starting to gain. They were down about 10 seconds behind. Now sitting less than 3. Less than 4, we apologize. Dave Gage, right there, man, leading this second pack. Let's go back to that 404. A little bit of a different look here this season for this 404. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Man, I'm telling you what. like the ghost flag that's on the back of that thing. Look at that thing right there. That, man, that's something fierce. Argobright pushing Gage into 3. Ground still being gained. Pit stops right around the corner there. It's going to open up right now. Pit window is open for these drivers to make it to the end. This will be the money stop, but will we see a late race caution change the dynamics of the finish here in Daytona tonight? 25 laps remain next time by. Back to the front of the field. Let's take a look at this lead pack as things start to get a little rowdy. As we have one driver off of the lead lap in the field here tonight in the 38 of Zach Miller right here running with this lead pack of trucks. It looks like he has gotten those mechanical issues fixed, but a little too late to worry about it now. Quickly to pit road. Both of the Schultz brothers are going to head down pit road. Jensen in the 89 of Engel also going to head to pit road. That's going to hand the race lead over to the 45 of Christian Abati. Your Premier Racing Setup Pole Award winner, the Canadian Tire number 11 machine, Alex Wiggins, right here once again. And you know, we don't want to, or I'm not gonna say we, because I'm the only one talking. The rest of the production team busy trying to get as many great action shots as they can for you. But again, yeah, you gotta be careful. Coming up pit road, coming right at you, man. Love that look. Ooh, 38 with a bit of a moment coming to pit road. Little sideways there, and Alex Wiggins. What has happened to Wiggins? He has been left out on the track all alone. Your pole sitter. It is a lonely world when you're out there by yourself at a super speedway, and Wiggins just trying to make this lap as short as he possibly can. Looking at speeds, still at full song right here, but with no help in sight. And Wiggins gonna have to, he can merge back into the running order without losing too much time. Everybody got to start coming back together. Full song right here, coming up on turn number 2, the 6th, the 4, and I believe that is the 5. Those Snake River Racing boys charged up, heading to the front, but they're going to fan out off the pit road. That's going to put a halt to the hard charge of the Schultz duo. How about the 25 and the 16? And Moore gonna head to the front of the field now. Christian Abati still just a little bit in front of these guys, but I do believe he's gonna get eaten up quite quickly here once they get to him. They're gonna see that Bucky's number 45 machine, and we talked about it earlier tonight. You don't want to get too far out there in front. And this is gonna be a prime example why. Watch how this pack of drivers absolutely blows the doors off of that 45. Quickly, easily, and effortlessly. 4-5 now make it almost 6 drivers gonna blow the doors off that Bookie's 45. Still in good shape. Abati right here. He's gonna get a sniff of the draft. He's gonna be able to stay inside of the top 10. Relevant for a fine finish here tonight, but as we are now knocking on the door of just 20 to go, less than 50 miles of racing action remain here tonight. The Frost Buddies 188. And we got big problem. Oh, did Juicy Burlow save it? Shoot. What could have been the first caution of the night is avoided. Man, white knuckle moment for the shock top driver, Nick Burlow. You ain't gotta worry about his top. He may need to change his bottoms after that one. Big moment at the front of the field for Burlow. Overstreet Timms and Argabright looking to close in as we head back to the front. With Schultz charging hard on the outside. Jake Innes still leading the way with the 16 NOS Energy machine right behind him. And if we remember last season, it came down to that final race between Derek Moore and Doug Argabright. Argabright getting the nod, winning the championship by, I do believe, an Ed or anybody that's involved with the league. If you're out there still in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I do believe it's one of the closest championship finishes in the A.S.M.R history. 1 point separating Moore and Argabright. It was an absolute brawl at the season finale. Hard charging front of this field. Green flag action all night long. We've only seen about 2 iffy moments out of this field here tonight. And this again goes to show the level of talent that these guys have. They've been off for a handful of weeks, jumping out of their Xfinity rides, taking a hiatus from racing. It was only about a month layoff, but jumping into a completely new machine to kick things off for season number 10. A milestone moment. And honestly, what a night to truly showcase why this series has been around for as long as it has. These guys haven't been just playing patty cake. They've been getting after it. They've been bump drafting. They've been pushing. They've been side drafting. But to do all that and keep it clean and green, 2 rounds of green flag pit stops, no pit road penalties. These guys are on it. Week after week, lap after lap. If you don't believe me, the proof is in the pudding. Join us next week as we're going to get ready to go racing once again. Here with the Hauck Designs Truck Series, we're going to be heading to another track to finish things underneath the lights. But the temperatures are going to rise. Sin City's going to host second race here in season number 10. We're going to jump out west, head to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Back to the Carolinas, we're going to head to Rockingham Speedway. Followed up by Atlanta, Bristol, Eldora. Then we're going to take that All-Star Week. Some great heat racing action coming at you from the Coliseum, so be ready for that. So a little preview and a little look at what's in store here this season. With a little bit of a shake-up on that second half. We're not gonna get into too much of what the second half of the schedule looks like. But if you really want to know, you can find it all listed over there on the YouTube side of things, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Check them out in the playlist. You can find them all listed right there for you. Don't have to go anywhere, and you don't have to write it down on your calendar no longer. Just make sure you click that fancy bell over there in the Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Speaking of which, if you're here, we thank you for joining us here tonight. It's not all about tonight, but each and every night here on the Turn 3 Racing action. If you like what you see here tonight, remember to support these drivers and show them a little bit of love and appreciation. Be sure to drop them a thumbs up before you go. Join us in that push to 4,000. Click subscribe and smash that bell. Over there with the right-hand side, we're going to quit running our mouth about our cheap little promos, and we're going to get back to the action because, again, side by side, the front of the field, 2 Fords looking to dominate here, show a little bit of manufacturer power. Warren Schultz clearing that outside lane. Now Ennis is going to struggle as the 574 about a truck length back. He's going to have to catch up here. Look for a bit of a bump draft coming out of turn number 2. Moore says no, sir. He's going to move up to block the run on the high side with 15 to go. Action heating up at the front of the field. So if you're still with us here tonight, you're still out there in the chat, I know it's a little late in the game and you get to have yourselves a little bit of an advantage over us, but who you got? Who's going to victory lane? Adam, if you're still out there with us, how about BK? Ed, if you're any of you guys out there, or girls, if you're out there watching, maybe you're watching your boyfriend support your husband, maybe, you know, your brothers, something like that, who knows? But if you're out there in the chat, who you got? You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. These drivers are big boys. They can take it. We already put Ennis on blast, and we think he's going to head to victory lane. But he's got his work cut out for him, sitting back in 5th right now. 4th truck outside lane. It's going to be a tough spot to get to the front of the field from. But we'll see. We'll see if our pick can get it done. Who you got out there? Let's see if you can pick the race winner here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. And there we go, and see, that's what, oh, we got trouble. Big trouble. Oh no, caution gonna come out, and that's gonna change the dynamics. Big issues now. Ennis, Moore, Schultz involved. The 574 gonna have some problems. Dave Gage caught up. The 7-8 drivers all caught up in this one. Lindsay, we appreciate you out there cheering on Jeffrey Engel in the field, and that's why we said, and ladies, because you never know. But let's go back. Let's see how it all happened. There you go. Bump draft gone wrong. 6 gets a little out of shape. Up the track into the 16. 45 got to catch a piece of the action. 25 going to get turned. A lot of drivers looking to work their way through it here. Jensen going to catch a piece of it there. You can see the 404 of Dave Gage looking to try to find a way by. Man, a lot of hard hits here. That's what it looks like. Slow down. We're going to take a look at it full throttle here. There you can see a lot of action quickly unfolding. And what a hit for that 6. What a hit for the 5. Man. So there it is. We talked about it. We talked about the trouble. And there you can see the 5 and the 16 both on pit road for the time being. We talked about it, race fans. Would the build-up get there, and would we see a late race caution? But now will we see cautions breed cautions? Will we have more trouble on the track? With these drivers knowing it's time to go, they're no longer afforded the opportunity to lay in wait, right? They're no longer afforded with the, I'll get them in 10 laps. You ain't got 10 laps. We're going to have about 8 laps to go when we get back green flag racing. And with a lot of drivers involved in this latest one, there's going to be some big problems. Dylan Schultz, Dave Gage, Jake Ennis, Alex Wiggins, Cody Schultz, Matt West, Zach Miller, all caught up and involved in this one. Christian Abati also involved in our first and only wreck of the night. So a lot of big names that were right there at the front with problems. That's definitely going to shake up the dynamics of how this thing is going to finish on out. definitely gonna cause problems for my pick because, well, he's on pit road. It's kind of hard to win when you're on pit road. We'll see if he can get back out there on the track. We'll see if he can keep himself on the lead lap. At least right now, looks like only 10 drivers remaining on the lead lap. One and only caution flag so far here tonight in the Frost Buddies 188 from Daytona International Super Speedway, race number 1 here in season number 10 for the Hauck Designs Truck Series. And man, we were just around the corner from doing this thing flag to flag, man. That would have been absolutely phenomenal. But I think, I don't want to say I hope, I think we have been set up to have an amazing finish. I mean, it looked like we were about to have an amazing finish anyway, but I think we're going to see a little more action. I think we're going to see a little more pushing and shoving. And I think this finish is going to go down as one of the biggest, one of the baddest, and one of the best in the history of the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Truck Series. Check him out on the outside row, man. He's got that Hauck Designs number 28 machine looking good. The Huack Show Wisconsin native. Got it right again. How about that, Adam? Just saying. Just saying. I knew I could count on me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that self-absorbed. Well, maybe. Never mind. So here we are halfway down the backstretch. We're going to have 9 laps remaining when we take the green flag. A lot of drivers with some damage. They fixed them up as best as they can. The crew chiefs, the pit crews, done all they can. It's going to be left up into the hands of the drivers now. Will they keep it clean to the end of tonight's race, or will we see problems compound themselves at the end? I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we fixin' to find out. H-Trunk ready to duck off. Field gonna wait for that 6 of Schultz to fire off, and away we go again in the restart zone, and green flag flies once again here from Daytona International Super Speedway. 9 laps to go. Schultz with a little bit of a jump on this field. Outside lane gonna get tucked up with each other. 93 all over the tail end of Tarnowski for the moment. Picked up, a little bit of a mishap there for the 93. He's going to get off center. That's going to allow the 99 to close in on Wiggins. Inside lane may be the place to be on the restart. And Lindsay, we're going to give a shout out to Jeffrey, man. But let's put this man on screen here. Let's give some credit where credit is due. This 89 truck had a big moment about 20 laps ago and could have been gone from the picture. Was able to maintain pace, maintain position, missed the problems. But here he is at the end of tonight's race, running inside of your top 10, sitting in that 6th position for the moment. 3rd truck outside lane. Will that Turner Trucking Company 89 be the first to cross the line and head to victory lane for the first time in season number 10? It's going to be a hard-fought battle. A lot of great drivers in this lead pack. Tarnowski from top to bottom. He's going to hit the down button on the elevator, take the race lead to the bottom. We've got some wounded warriors in the back. Tough night here tonight for Daniel Jensen, Jake Ennis, as well as Jake Doping, still on pit lane trying to salvage anything they can. Derek Moore, Cody Schultz, and Matt West still thrashing away down there on pit road. So unfortunate circumstances have put a basic end to those drivers' night. And I mean, we've got 12 drivers right here in this lead pack. A lot can still happen. We've got to make that 3 wide racing, as your pole sitter says thank you. I ain't Moses, but I'm going to part these C's right here. He's going to head to the middle of the racetrack. Ooh. Keep it clean here. Close racing action. Little bit of contact there. 3 wide battle for the second position. Oh, that 93 super loose in front of that inside lane. Contact. And the 6 is sideways. Looks like we're going to have a caution. 6 of Dylan Schultz going to get sideways. He'll save the machine. No contact, man. That could have been bad. Let's take another look at that one. Put it up to speed for you, man. The 28 almost goes around the 6. Heading straight to that outside wall. Somehow kicks it back to the left and back on the track and heads off. Still racing without really much of any damage. Amazing job there at the front of the field by a handful of drivers. That could have went south in a hurry. Well, looks like we're in green-white checkered territory, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like race number 1 will finish under green-white checkered conditions with 5 laps to go. We're going to catch the tail end of the pace car with the 89 of Engel. Going to inherit the race lead. All started with a little bit of a battle. Can we go back to, guys, we got a little bit of time. Let's see if we can go back to some of everything that was going down there. Let's see if we can't get back to it here. 3 wide battle going on. Let's speed it back up. There you can see 3 wide battle. A little bit of contact there between the 11 and the 28. Back up the racetrack comes the 28. 25 already having some issues. Caution flag out already. Wiggins going to have to back off just a little bit and give that race lead to the 89 machine. But I don't want to fault anybody for that. Let's go back, take one more look at it, slow down here. There you can see 404 of Dave Gage. Can we get on board with Gage? Do we got that one? Tell me we got the on board of that. It's going to be an amazing camera shot if we got it. We got it. There it is, guys. Nice. There it is. You see that for all Spuddies, number 99, bit border machine of Patrick Coro, bottom of the racetrack, already the contact behind these guys. Just an amazing job to navigate their way through it, and nobody picking up any more damage than what they've already had. So here we go, man. First race in season number 10, and we're going to end it with a green-white checkered finish. You know what? We're gonna be a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? We're gonna pray things stay green here. One of our parlays in the gambling hall was how many cautions were we gonna see here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway, and it was a over under on a 2.5 caution limit here for these A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series drivers. We're on caution number 2, so if we finish this thing out under green, man, I may be looking pretty good. Just saying. See if I get it right. I gotta get something right tonight, right? I was already wrong about the race winner. Jake Ennis down out of tonight's race, sitting back in the 15th position on pit road, still thrashing away at his ride. So maybe I can get one thing right tonight. Let's see if it happens. I don't know. We'll see. Pace truck lights are going to go out this time around, and we will see. 2 to go. When we drop the green flag. Will it be our single and only attempt at a green-white checkered finish? Or will we see him have to reset, re-rack, and run him again? Gotta get back around to the white flag for this thing to end on the next flag. And we've got familiar faces here, right? Some wily veterans at the front. Wiggins, Overstreet, Cora, Wing, Tarnowski, Burlow, Gage, all inside of your top 8. Jeffrey Engel now in control of the restart. And I think that's one of the most important things here in a late restart at a super speedway track is being in control of that restart. You can dictate the start, of course, but you can also dictate the push from behind. Give a little wave out of the window net. Get that 93 right on your rear deck lid. It's hammer time. It's go time. We can figure out who's going to win the race as soon as we break away from the field and keep it behind us. But the hole that these trucks punch in the air is so massive that the draft is so equalizing. Man, we got a hell of a 2 laps out in front of us here. Pace truck in. We're ready to roll to the restart zone again. And we've got green flag action once again here in the Frostbuddy 188. 2 to go. Popsicle sticks on display for the field, but will it be for the final time here tonight? Everybody bails from the top. That's going to leave Wiggins out there all alone, solo running in that Canadian Tire number 11 machine, the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award winner, all alone. Help comes from the 99 of Wing. Big push on the back end of that 11. Wing looking for a way around the 93, wants to jump to the high side. Trouble for the 38. He's gonna mow some grass. He's gonna have a landscaping bill to turn in. Here to the Daytona staff through the middle of 3 and 4. We've got 3 wide for the 6th position. Tarnowski, Burlow, Gage going at it. 3 wide. Dave Gage trying to make some headway through the middle. Contact, white flag out with Wiggins out front. Engel running 3rd car inside lane, but the 99 of Wing able to drop down in front. 3 wide for 4th for a moment. Tarnowski gonna head to the back. Contact with Gage in the 93. Trouble, we got crashing out of 2. A lot of trouble. Big wreck on the back stretch. Now that's gonna take out half of the running order, but we still got drama unfolding at the front. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, all within 1 second of each other, half a second. There's Engel on the bottom looking to fill the lane. Wiggins, Wing in. Engel, 1, 2, 3 out of 4. Coming to the start finish line. Will we see a driver make a move? There's Wing to the top. Wiggins gonna hold true on the bottom. And he's gonna take away the race lead. Checkered flag in hand, and how about that? Your pole sitter gonna walk away with the race win. Nicholas Wing gonna come home in 2nd, and Jeffrey Engel will pick up 3rd. Amazing night, an amazing run for all of these drivers. Big trouble on the backstretch on that final lap. Man, there was some drama to be had, but the man gets it done. Starts at the front and keeps it there at the end. Walking away with the race win behind the wheel of that Canadian Tire number 11 machine. Alex Wiggins gonna, I don't know if he's enjoying all the beating and banging on the get into the truck at the moment, but we'll take a crinkled fender and a checkered flag any day. Onto the front stretch right here at the start and finish line. Look for a post-race smoke show out of that Canadian Tire number 11 machine. And there he goes for all the fans in the stands. Sold out packed house here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Watch an amazing finish of tonight's Ross Buddy 188, and Wiggins will walk away with a race win. So as he enjoys his celebration, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews here tonight. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. Sponsorship paid. And the Frost Buddies 188 in the bag. What a night, what a race, what a way to kick off season number 10 here with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Truck Series. Pole sitter will capture the flag here tonight. What an amazing night of racing. We're going to catch up and have a few words with some of your drivers that walked away on your podium here tonight. Unfortunately, some prior obligations going to keep our third place finisher from being able to join us here in the post race show. But a big shout out to the man behind the wheel of that Trucker Construction Company, Tucker Trucking Company. There you go. I promise I can get it right. Sometimes my brain and my tongue just don't cooperate with each other. But the 89 of Jeffrey Engel, an amazing run, an amazing show here tonight. Up 14 positions from where he qualified. One of the biggest movers of the night. Just an amazing run to the end. Going to walk away with a great points day to kick things off here in season number 10. Jeffrey Engel will finish tonight's Frost Buddies 188 from Daytona in third. That's going to move us right along the list now, though. Let's see if we can't have a few words with the man that walked away with second. Another driver that was up 14 positions from where he qualified here tonight. So from the back to the front, behind the wheel of that Budweiser number 99 machine, Nick, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, a little bit different look on the car this season behind the wheel of that truck. But before we get into that, how good does it feel to start a season off with a podium finish and so close to a race win?
Feels pretty good considering how last season was going for like the first half until I won at Kern.
Well, a lot of differences between last season and this season. Obviously, the most obvious one is, no longer behind the wheel of the Xfinity ride, back behind the wheel of these Truck Series machines. So with that being said, is there maybe a little more comfortability behind the wheel of these trucks, even though the tail end of them may be a little bit lighter than the Xfinity rides? The horsepower differences may make up for that. Do you think maybe that some of these drivers just might be a little more comfortable behind the wheel of these Truck Series rides?
Yeah, considering they can actually be bumped more than the Xfinity cars could, and you can actually bang on the sides of them. But other than that, usually when I ran trucks in here, I usually end up in the final four of the playoffs every season, just about.
Well, we got something to look forward to then throughout the course of the rest of the season. You kick things off to start here tonight at Daytona, walking away second, up 14 positions from where you qualified. So an amazing run up through the field. But I want to ask you about the paint scheme. A different look on this truck than what you were in behind the wheel of that Xfinity ride last season. So any real reason? Was there a particular purpose for switching it up, or just wanting to do something different?
You just run throwback schemes anyway, so I just figured put this one together real quick and be done with it.
Well, man, it looked great out there on the track under the lights, fast as boy, and you were cooking at the end. Maybe one more lap, and we would have been talking to you one position later, but a phenomenal job for you here tonight to kick off the season. Before we let you go, you know the drill, so would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, I think everybody on my team besides Cody.
I've got no words. I'm just gonna give a simple laugh and let you guys deal with that one. Nicholas, man, it's always a pleasure when I do get a chance to talk to you in these post-race shows. We look forward to seeing you throughout the rest of the season multiple more times. So until then, my friend, stay safe and keep it fast.
You too.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man that walks away in second. Nicholas Swing going to have an amazing points day. Looks like he might have some choice words for a teammate. Trouble in paradise down here in Florida. We'll see if they can get all of that ironed out by the time they get to Las Vegas. But let's have a little chat now. Let's stroll on over to Victory Lane. No stranger to the front of the field, walking away with the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award here. Alex Wiggins gonna do well, I guess do the dang thing and walk away with not only a pole but a checkered flag as well. Alex, how good does it feel to walk away with the first win in season number 10?
Well, it's always good to win, but I have to say I suck at these plate tracks, and that was 100% luck. I don't know how it happened.
Well, luck or no luck, if you suck at these super speedway tracks, these guys might have some problems on their hand because you won.
Well, that is very true. I went back and watched the final restart, and I didn't do a single thing. I didn't have to make any crazy moves. I just sort of did my thing, and I appreciate Nick Wing for not trying to pull out a line or do anything. He just sort of sat behind me for the most part and pushed me, which I appreciate, of course.
Now, we're going to take a moment. I want to talk to you about the 3-wide moment that you had there. Not that last restart, but our after our first caution, that first restart we had. You were a little bit deeper in the field on the restart. You looked like you got yourself in position, went to the meet in the middle, and were making a little bit of headway. How... I don't want to say how nerve-wracking, but we hadn't run 3 wide basically all night long. How confident were you in that move that the middle was the place to go?
I don't know if confidence... I mean, it had to be confidence, right? I wouldn't have made the move otherwise, but I think there was a group of 4 of us. Our only plan was if we could get to the middle, we could go to the front, and I saw a hole open between Dylan Schultz and I think Michael Overstreet. At that point in the race, you couldn't... not take the move, right? And we got there, and what do you know, 2 corners later, they all wrecked. So I'm glad I was far enough ahead not to get caught up in it, but I just don't know how it happened.
Well, man, and it was an amazing night for you and that Canadian Tire number 11 crew. Great pit stops all night long. You never were really in any true danger, never really lost the front of the field. Just a fine run for you to start off season number 10 here. So looking forward to the next handful of weeks. Is there any of those tracks that you think might cause a little bit of problems as we head to Rockingham? Well, we head to Vegas first and then out to Rockingham. Rockingham, one of those old school tracks. Do you think that might cause a problem with these lighter end trucks?
I think definitely Rockingham and maybe something like Eldora we have. I think that's around the halfway point of the season will definitely be new for a whole bunch of these guys.
Well, we're looking forward to some Eldora because a lot of us here at Turn 3, well, we're bedded in the dirt racing world, and anytime we get to see some dirt racing action, we absolutely love it. So I for one, I know some of you drivers may not be looking forward to it. You may just want to skip it, but I can't wait to get there, man. Love slinging some mud, but that's a whole different story, man. Tonight, you were on fire. Took the pole, took the checkered flag, man. It doesn't get much better than that to start off the season. We wish you well. We hope we can talk to you a handful of more weeks throughout this season. But before we let you go and soak it all in, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Just everybody that puts on this league, you for doing the broadcast, and everybody at TTB, Dave for essentially coaching me through that final restart because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, man, if you need the coaching, you found the right ones because you got the job done here tonight, man. An amazing way to kick off season number 10. We look forward to catching up with you throughout the year. But until then, my friend, stay safe, enjoy this win, and keep it fast.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Alex Wiggins, some short words from the man that was not necessarily dominant here tonight, but he started at the front. Ended at the front, seen an opportunity, and said it was too good to pass up. He went to the front, and he controlled it at the end. Alex Wiggins is going to walk away with the first checkered flag here in season number 10, and that is pretty much going to do it for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. What a night of racing here from Daytona International Super Speedway. Man, if this is any indicator on how things are going to go for the rest of the season, man, we are in store for an amazing run for the Season 10 championship. For the first time, producers hitting those buttons at the end. You know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial. Race results in the Frost Bunny 188 live from Daytona International Super Speedway, walking away with the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award and the checkered flag in victory, laying the Canadian Tire, number 11 of Alex Wiggins. Nicholas Swing gonna come home in second with the 89 of Jeffrey Engel, finishing out our podium drivers. Patrick Coro gonna bring that 91 home in fourth, finishing out your top five. The shock top, number 51 of Nick Burlow. Doug Argabright going to start outside pole position, but finishing sixth here tonight, sliding home in seventh. It's a number 4 machine of Daniel Jensen. Jake Dofing back in eighth. Ninth place tonight to Zach Miller, finishing out your top 10. The 45 of Christian Abati. Jake Innes back in 11th, 12th place tonight from Daytona, Brian Tarnowski. The Waukesha, Wisconsin native, just outside of your top 10. Dave Gage in 13th. Michael Overstreet going to walk away 14th, 15th tonight to Dylan Schultz, the 16 of Derek Moore. Late race trouble. He'll finish 8 laps down in 16th. Cody Schultz back in 17th. Matt West, the rookie, had a fine run going. Some late race troubles. Gonna keep him off of the lead lap. Matt West gonna finish at 18th. Final spot in the running order here tonight belongs to the 77 of John Timms. That's it. That's gonna do it for us here in the booth. But before we get ready to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, if you haven't already, remember to show these drivers some love and join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Drop these guys that thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash the bell. Over there, the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Gabe, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're one of our dedicated fans, friends, or family, or one of our many different sponsors. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So again, big shout out to Ed Hauck and Hauck Designs, the whole American Sim Motor Racing stable of drivers, our series sponsors. Dale Earnhardt Chevy, Butt Kicker, Wall Street Looks Like Us Now, Frost Buddy, and of course, Premier Racing Setup. With that being said, we're going to cut off the lights and roll up the cords and get ready to head to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, coming at you next Wednesday night. Don't miss it. Mark it on your calendars. It's going to be one hell of a night for sure. Until then, my friends, stay safe, stay loved, and we'll meet you in Turn 3.